What is going on? Good Chavez. We are back today. Another player prop talk live stream here on the channel. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. Happy Saturday to everybody. I hope your Friday went well. Friday night, Friday evening. Hope you profited yesterday. We'll get into some player prop talk here in just a second. We'll cover, well, we won't even cover injury news today because Luka Doncic is the only name on the injury report and he's probable. So that's it. There's nobody else on the report. Not worth making a slide going over that. So I guess keep your eyes out, keep your ears open and eyes open for Luka news, but can't see this guy not playing. So, and he's probable. So usually when a player is probable, they don't get ruled out. So not much injury news to go over today. Probably going to spend the majority of the time talking about player props. So get your questions into the chat and we'll cover as many as we can. If I don't get to your player prop question, it's nothing personal. It's more of a time thing. So let's get this going. Hashtag blessed. If you're listening to this, hearing this, you did not die in your sleep. So you are off to a great start today. Hashtag blessed. Over 10% of the U.S. population dies in their sleep. That's crazy. It's a lot of people, but you didn't. So good on you. Go do something cool today. Go do something fun for yourself today. Go win some money today. What's going on, Big Icy? Good morning to you. Alexander Olivos. Good morning to you. JR, what is going on? Good morning to you. Great Friday night. Thanks to the stream. Oh, yeah? Throw some deets in the chat. Let's let us in on what went down yesterday. Hit the like button on your way in. 13 likes yesterday on the channel, on the last on our stream yesterday, I should say. 13 likes. I know we had over 27 28 people watching at one point, so that's a little low. Get those likes up. Do it for your boy, especially if I answer one of your player prop questions. Come on, hit that like button in advance, because you know I'm good for it. Let us know, JR, what went down yesterday. Did you hit a 13 leg parlay? What you end up hitting, man? All right, let's do this. Yesterday we got into BETR, not an official partner of the channel. However, I do play a lot on BETR. It is a great site to add to your portfolio of pick'em sites. I guess if you traditionally play on PrizePicks, maybe Underdog, BETR's a solid one to add in the mix. First time deposit match up to 250. There's my QR code to scan it, or you can just click the link that's in the description. Yesterday we brought up BETR though because they had a great promo on Tyrese Halliburton's points. 0.5 promo for Halliburton yesterday. So all he needed to do was score 1 point. And I guess the downside to those promos is they're running so many of them that they're only allowing you to put $5 max on that. However, it's a really good bankroll builder if you do it right. Yesterday I said I would share my BETR slip in the Discord, and I did. I went ahead and paired the Halliburton promo up with Max Homa over strokes, and he did finish with 70 strokes. So turned $5 into 15 just like that. So if you were able to tell that, see that, then you also 3 times your entry amount there. So I wish we could put more on it, to be honest with you, but there will be other promos. Today's promo is Luka Doncic 0.5 promo, 0.5 point promo over on BETR. So same thing applies. I will share that 2-pick slip in the Discord, and you can tell it if you want. But yesterday that was pretty easy way to build bankroll. It's not always that easy, but Usually it is that easy. So QR code right there on the screen, or just click the link in the description and come join me over on BETR. Have a little fun, making a little money. All right. I wonder if anybody did tell that yesterday. 12 viewers on the stream. What is going on? T. Adam Delgado. What's going on, my dude? JR says, let's throw it on the screen. JR says, hit 2-6, man. Used those WNBA picks and went less on all the Knicks. I smelled a blowout. Nice. Dante DiVincenzo made it a little sweaty, though, right? First half. He had 14 PRA at the end of the first half. I think he finished with like less than 22 or some shit like that for the game. We talked about Tyrese Halliburton assist yesterday. That went over. That was nice. 8.5, a little too low. Yeah, those WNBA picks we talked about. We talked about the over on Joanna Mann, Joanna Bonner, and she did go over, right? Barely, right? I don't know about Ezzy. Menace to Society over in the Discord was sweating Ezzy yesterday. I don't know if she went over her prop, but we talked about a few WNBA props. The under on was it Wanda Sykes? We went under on Sykes rebounds, I believe it was. She finished with like 2 or 3. Yeah. WNBA continues to provide us opportunities to take under. So glad that worked out for you. Yesterday, somebody put in the chat, I was just fucking around a little bit, but they commented the what plays ? And I didn't know what they were talking about. And I think it was the comment I made about the WNBA. I said, okay, so that'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and add that to our WNBA plays, or I said something like that. And there's WNBA, WNBA. If you guys have ever seen the movie The Air Up There with Kevin Bacon, when he went to Africa to recruit this kid, and they were calling the NBA Nuba. They were saying Nuba. So I just took that and we're calling the WNBA WNBA. Super old school movie. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. As he went under. That was you, Big Icy. The WNBA plays. Yeah, we're gonna call it the WNBA. Aaliyah Boston over. Luka Giddey 3-point combo. I like the over. Let's see. Yeah, good on you, JR. Hell yeah. Let's get this going. All right, so yeah, let's get Tyrese's happy ass off the screen, and let's get into some plays for today. Today is Saturday, May 18th, 2024. We talk PrizePicks, underdog, jock market, sleeper, BETR, wherever you play. Just let me know in the chat. Throw it in the chat, i.e. Jalen Brunson over 50 points, underdog, wherever you play. Just so I know that it's not on PrizePicks. However, for stream, we use the PrizePicks dashboard as the as kind of like the guide here, because it looks best on screen. It is easy to follow, and it's honestly the best home screen, the best dashboard out of all the pick'em sites. Not even not all the pick'em sites even have a desktop app version. Most of them, some of them are mobile, so it's hard to navigate on my phone, when I'm on stream. So PrizePicks will be our home page, so to speak, but let me know where you play, and we can look up anything. We can look up any player prop that you want to look at, and we'll use props.cash. We'll use props.cash to get it done. If you've never seen props.cash before, if you've never seen it used, you'll see it used today. And then afterwards, if you like it, then you can use my promo code. Thanks25 is the promo code for props.cash. It will get you 25% off your first month. If you don't like it, if you don't want to use it, no worries. No worries. All right. Let's get this going. We're going to head back over to PrizePicks. We'll pull up the dashboard again, and I'll show you what I built out before coming on stream. This was one of the slips that I built out using some plus EV plays. The two that the one that I'm usually concerned about playing is Christopher Morel, because he chalks a lot, but his numbers against Bailey Falter today are through the roof. Great odds on a few of his props, so his fantasy score is really standing out to me. We'll take a look at that over on props.cash. The Patrick Reed birdies are better. I'm noticing, I don't know, maybe you are too, but these birdie plays are going way over. I've picked under on a few of these birdies, and they've doubled them up. Under 4 birdies, motherfucker finishes with 8. I know that's not every player, but pay attention to these overall scores, these end of the round scores. A lot of these players are just destroying their birdie props. So now I'm starting to see these birdies at 4 flat. I'm going to take the over on these with support from a few books that also like the over. But man, it's like putt golf out there. These dudes are just racking up birdies. Rory McIlroy under strokes. This is more of a leverage play for me because on underdog, I believe he's at 67. So you take the under on this one, you take the over 67, and hopefully he lands right at 68. But we'll look at the Christopher Morel and Estrada play over on props.cash. But if you want to throw these in a slip, if you want to tail these, you can do so. I've already put this in the Discord for our members, along with a couple of other slips. But let's get this going. Patrick Reed over birdies, McIlroy under strokes, Brock Boser under shots on goal, Thyro under total bases, and Morel over fantasy score. I know I saw a couple of window plays in the chat. I got to go back and see. I think T put one in there. Nah, I'm an 80s. I'm an 80s baby. I'm not a 70s baby. Jimmy Dolan, shake and bake. Shea over 37 points and assists. Aaliyah Boston over points. All right, that's what I saw. All right, let's pull up. Let's pull up Boston. Just over regular points, 11.5. All right. I know I saw that Giddy combo. Giddy's points are also super low today, 6.5. If you want to take a shot on his points today, 6.5. Now, a lot of books are taking the under at 6.5. I'll tell you why that scares me is the Mavericks keep letting this dude shoot for whatever reason. I know he's not the most efficient 3-point shooter, but he's not bad. He's not a bad shooter. But they're giving him that space. They're giving him that corner 3. And honestly, he could finish the first half with 0 points, and they run a couple of plays for him in the second half, and he comes out and knocks down 2 threes. And just like that, he's at 6. Another bucket, another drive, a floating layup or something, and he's at 8. That scares me, the under on 6.5. I feel like if you don't have a lot of confidence in the over, just stay away from it. I've seen Giddy flipped the script in a matter of 2 minutes in a game, and what was looking like a cool cash for the under ends up being a bad chalk. So I think if you feel like he's going to score points today, if you like the over on this combo prop with he and Luka, I mean, Luka could probably hit this by himself on most nights. But if Giddey contributes, you want to believe that each of them knock down 2 threes each. That's the fairest way this goes down. If you got Giddey going for 2 threes, that's 6 points right there. Now you maybe start looking at his full game points at 6.5. But this one looks really low. It's low for a reason. Let's figure out why it's so goddamn low. As he goes under, even after 2 OT. Oh, they went double OT? Oh, man, that sucks. Just standing around and shit. You got OT, you're 85? Nice, man. Sleeper. Did you throw? What's going on, Damien? Adam, you threw a play in there? No, not Adam. Alexander, you threw a play? You just wrote sleeper in there. Tina Charles over rebounds. All right, we'll take a look at that. Kyrie over 20 points. This is the bounce back that sent OKC home. I saw that earlier. His line was moved up, though. His line was moved up from 19.5 to 20. Yeah, so I was looking at his game logs earlier. It's been really disappointing. The Thunder have done such a great job of just containing his ass throughout the entire series. He did have one game where he did go over, but man, it's been a struggle for him. It's crazy how a team can just make those adjustments and just lock down players. I mean, it's very concentrated too, because it's the same team game in and game out. Like, you know, they don't have to prepare for a different player every day. So they just make a switch and that's it. Lights out. That's a wrap. Kyrie Irving has been getting locked up. Tina Charles over rebounds? We'll take a look at her. These WNBA games start really early today, so noon. Her rebounds have been bumped up to 8. Let's take a look why. And that gives us 6 so far. Oh, yeah, you just said it, huh, JR? Early WNBA games, I'm looking for some value. All right, let's see if we can find some value for you. What's going on, Yee? Good morning to you. Thunder hasn't been playing Giddey this much. Yeah. Mark Dagnow, or whatever his name is, coach of the year. I think, did he win coach of the year? Yeah, his rotation has been all over the place. So I've been reading some interesting NBA trade rumors for next season. There was one that was really interesting, was the Thunder sending Giddey, Usman Dang, a couple of draft picks to Utah for Lauri Markkanen, because the Jazz outside of Markkanen aren't ready to win. They had a super young team. So it's hard to build around Markkanen when the talent around him isn't where they need to be. So you trade him, and I don't know what they do from there. But I thought that was interesting. Giddey going to Utah probably would get a ton more run. Can you please look up Jonquel Jones 25.5 PRA over on Underdog? Let's see if we can find it. Let's see. Let's take Thyro out of here. I really want to look at Morel. I want to show you guys what I saw with Morel. She might be on Underdog as well, or PrizePicks as well. So we'll look at Jonquel 25. So we got quite a few Winba plays. Boston, Charles, Jones, and then we'll take a look at Irving, Giddy, Luka, all these are in the same game. Let's start over in the MLB, though. We'll start off with this Christopher Morel fantasy score because it's the only MLB play that we have. And then from there, we'll go WNBA, and then we'll go NBA, and then that'll end our first round of player props today. As I mentioned earlier, if you're new to props.cash, if you've never seen props.cash used before, you are getting ready to see it in real time. After seeing it used in real time, you like what you see, then sign up using my promo code. All the information is in the description. However, it is thanks25, 25% off your first month. Let's go. Anybody got any cool plans scheduled for today? Saturday? What do y'all typically do on Saturdays? I try to get out the house a little bit in the afternoon, beating traffic. Austin is no longer the best little city, kind of vibe. It's a major city now, and it's fucking crowded everywhere you go. So trying to find secluded spots like that are just chill spots, it's a little hard now. Have y'all seen that Geico commercial, Progressive commercial, where Flo and some guy are like by this lake and it's like really quiet and they're just like taking it all in, and then the guy's like, we got about I can't believe we found this place out, I can't believe we found this place. It's only a matter of time before the locals find it, and then they turn around and it's a line of cars and line of people that are like already there, and it's just people like posing and shit. Like the girl comes up and she's got like her stupid selfie stick, and she's like, what's up, y'all? I'm just out here practicing abundance, manifesting. Just stupid shit like that. And I feel like that's what Austin is right now, where it used to be that spot where you would go and kind of take a weekend trip and you would just get away from things. And now it's just like everybody knows about everything, so everywhere you go it's like crowded, and then it's only a matter of time before you find something that's like, oh, this is a cool little spot. Next weekend, it's not the same. So Austin is growing. All right, so Christopher Morel. Enough about Austin. Christopher Morel. All right, so I usually don't like to play this guy because he's chalked. Like I usually play him on games like this where he goes with no hits. That's when I pick him. So anyway, looking at his projections today, he's projected for a hit, 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. He is projected for an RBI. These are projections. They are subjective. They vary from site to site. If you're going to focus on anything to help you with your picks, focus on the odds. Odds are what tell everything. You can project a lot from the odds, and then projections are just, they're going to vary. When you look at his odds for a hit, -250 basically across the board for a hit, which is very telling of what the expectation is for him today. Even though he's not projected for over total bases, that's okay. One thing, he has 6 plate appearances against Bailey Falter, okay? 6 plate appearances against this guy, batting .667 with a 1333 slugging percentage, 2 singles, 1 double, 1 home run, and 3 RBIs. This is about as good as it gets for a stat line. 6 plate appearances is about 2 games. I'm assuming he got 3 plate appearances in each game. This covers 2 games. This isn't like 6 different games. This is all like very condensed information here. One thing I was super impressed with also against Falter is he has no strikeouts against Falter. So he's putting the ball in play. Against lefties, Christopher Morel is not striking out a lot. He has one of the lower strikeout rates versus lefties on the team. And he has one of the highest walk rates. So in the event that Falter doesn't want to fuck around with this guy and he decides to put him on base, walk him, there's 2 points right there. Assuming that the Cubs can drive him in, I mean, it's very possible that he gets you 4 fantasy points in his first, at bat. Ideally, you would like for him to hit safely. A home run would be great for the over here, but there's a lot of upside with this guy. I love the fact that he's not striking out a lot against lefties, and I love his BVP versus Falter. So I think his fantasy score is in play. If you want to throw that in a slip, you can. You got a lot of supporting data for the over on his fantasy score. All right, let's go to Wimba. Let's look up Leah Boston right here. She's the first name on the screen. So point prop at 11.5. She's projected for 10.67. Again, I always say projections are subjective and they vary. Focusing on the odds, at 12.5, Caesars likes the over at 12.5. FanDuel, not so much. BetMGM likes the under. Unibet likes the under. All these are 12.5. Now we get into the 11.5. DraftKings minus 130 to the over. Bovada 130 to the over. So you're getting two books that like the over at 11.5, and you even have one book that likes the over at 12.5. So that should tell you that 11.5 might be a little too low for her today. In her previous games versus the New York, why do I want to call them the New York Islanders, the New York Liberty. 4 out of 5 games, she's crushed this line with just one game falling way under. However, the other games have been so good, her average is 15. So despite that shit game right there, she's able to still average 15 across 5 games. It's pretty strong output for Leah Boston. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to dig into here. I mean, good history versus the team. You're getting good odds. Projections, I wish they were a little high, but we're not worried about projections right now. All right. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what team Tina Charles plays for. I'm just like gonna click on every game until I see her name. There she is. All right, she plays for Atlanta. Notes. All right, we're looking at her rebounds. Got bumped from 7.5 to 8. One game against the Phoenix. What are they called? The Phoenix Mercury? Damn. I think it is the Phoenix Mercury. 11 rebounds versus them in one game. However, we need a bit bigger of a sample size, right? So let's look at her last 5. Now, we do have to go back to last season because there are not enough games played so far in this season to look at. So combined over her last 5 games, she is averaging 11 rebounds, just one game falling short. Projected today, 13.5 points, and she's projected for 8.49 rebounds. When you look at the odds at 7.5, very, very obvious why these got bumped up from 7.5 to 8. Anytime you get multiple books that are giving you minus 140 and over for a play, it's only a matter of time before that shit gets bumped up. We talk about that all the time, so shouldn't be a surprise. If you're able to get this at 7.5 before it got bumped, it's probably by far the best line you'll see today. But you can still take a shot on her rebounds at 8. That'll be the next best line that you see today. What we should have did is stayed in this New York Indiana game and take a look at Jonquel Jones PRA instead of bouncing back and forth. But let's take a look at these numbers for her. 4 out of 5 games, she's gone over this. When we look at her head-to-head matchup with the Indiana Fever, really good numbers. Even in the games where she's not going over her PRA, she's in the 20s. 3 straight. 31, 30, and 28. In those games, 27 PRA. That's really good. They just played each other? Yeah. Right here. First game of the year for them, 28. That's right. That's right. Because I took the over on Ionescu and Clark. 3s. That didn't work out. Projection 31.78. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of love being shown here on the odds because I don't know what it is about PRA. Sometimes you just don't see a lot of books taking action on PRAs. But you can see with her points here at 14.5. Look at all these books. -130, -130 on the over on 14.5. So in the event she gets you 15, let's just do the math here. 15. And then we got the 10.5 rebound prop for her, which is not looking good on Unibet Bet Rivers. So let's say she only gets you 10 rebounds. What if she only got you 9 rebounds? 9 rebounds plus 15 points is 24. That's 24 PRA. How many assists can we pencil her in for? She doesn't even have an assist projection. So a lot of these WNBA props don't have action on books. So I don't know why. It's been around long enough. But based off what we're seeing here in her head-to-head matchups with the Fever, she is giving you a minimum of 2. In her first game this season, she got you 4. I mean, if she got you 2 assists, which I don't think that's a reach. I think 2 is within play. She grabs 9 boards, that's 11. And she goes out there and gets you 20. She goes out there and gets you 15 points. That's 26 PRA. That's what she needs today. So 26 PRA, 15 points, 9 boards, 2 assists. There you go. And you don't have to worry about turnovers or PRA. So she can turn the ball over all. Well, no, we don't want her turning the ball over all she wants, because every time they turn the ball over, they lose possession. So keep the turnovers down. But yeah, in the event she turns it over 3 times, 4 times, it's not going to kill her numbers. All right. Nice. Let's take a look at Giddey, Luka, and Kyrie. Hit the like button on your way in. If you're just joining the stream, you missed so much. Where the fuck have you been? 24 minutes late. You're 34 minutes late, but hit the like button anyway. Throw a question in the chat. I'll do my best to get to all your player prop questions. Kyrie Irving points 20.5. Now, if you want to play this at 19.5, I think that's the best line. That's the lowest line you'll see. At 19.5, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM all like the over. Oh, nope. 19.5, DraftKings likes the over. Caesars likes the over. BetMGM actually likes the under at 19.5. Now at 20.5, FanDuel is giving you odds of -108 to the over and -118 to the under. So let's take a look. Let's filter out by just playoff games versus the Thunder. And what you have here is a just like a locked up Kyrie Irving. So if you got this at 19.5, he's gone over this in 2 games this series, which is still not good. If you're playing this at 20 even, he's pushed and gone over once. What a player does in a previous game does not mean that's what they'll do in the next game. However, what's telling here is in 3 of these 5 games, Kyrie Irving hasn't even sniffed 20 points. Shit, in 2 of these games, he hasn't even touched 10. Is it a combination of bad shots, missed shots, locking him up? Is he not able to take shots? Like, what's going on here? In the game where he did clearly go over, he took 17 shots. He was 10 of 17. But look at these other games. 11 field goal attempts. I mean, in order for him to go over this line, he would have to go 9 of 11. I'm assuming that 2 of those shots would be threes. He'd have to go 9 of 11 on 11 shots to go over this. That's not going to happen. So he's not even taking enough shots in these games. So bounce back spot for Kyrie Irving. His threes are super low. I mean, in that game where he did go over, he had 6 threes. He made 2, 3 out of 4 here. And in these games, 0 threes made. Or did he hit 2 here? 0, 0, and then he hit 2. Okay, he's 2 for 2 here, but 0, 0. Still, you can go 2 for 2 all you want from 3. That's not enough to help you get over points. I mean, yeah, so something has to give here. He is projected for 17 points. So again, odds in favor of the over are 19 at 19.5. You have DraftKings and Caesars. BetMGM is not liking the over at the lower line, which is kind of weird. And then you have FanDuel giving you under odds at 20.5. So I don't know what to think about this one, to be honest with you. I have not played a whole lot of Kyrie Irving in this series outside of some steals and blocks props that we talk about here in the stream. His RA, I mean, for the most part, I want to say in this game, was his RA like 9.5? If you're getting his RA at 9.5, that looks pretty good. 3 out of 5 games, okay? But at 10.5, if that's the line that we're seeing across the industry, he's just got really shitty lines today. If you want to look at blocks and steals, we can. Blocks and steals today set to 1.5. You're not going to find this anywhere. Not at minus 199 to the over. Steals are at 1.5, and then blocks are at 0.5. You're probably going to see his steals and blocks at 2. At 2, you could take a shot at this. But honestly, I mean, I don't really like a lot of this. I know it's the only NBA game right now, like on the slate. So maybe you feel like very, very tempted just to play because it's the only NBA game. But yeah, the value is going to be real rough with the NBA today, just because all the books know there's only one game. So you're going to see a lot of inflated stats and lines. So honestly, his points should be like around 18.5. Seriously, not 20.5, not 20. All right, let's look at threes for Luka and Giddey. So the mark here is 3.5. All right. That's Luka's line, 3.5. Combine their line is 3.5. Luka goes out there and gets you 2 threes, something he's done in 3 out of the 5 games this series. Okay. He goes out there and gets it done with 2 threes. Now we look at Josh Giddey, who, if they keep giving him these shots, man, it's hard to not take this over. So in back-to-back games, he has knocked down a 3. Now, he's not really knocking down 2 very often. In fact, you have to go back to regular season games, or no. Are these? Yeah, this is playoff games. You have to go back to the first round. So you might just be looking at 1 3 for Josh Giddey. His minutes have been god awful, man. This is really bad. He's only taken 8 shots in each of the last 3 games. He's taken that's actually, I thought he was only taking like 1 or 2 threes a game. So he's actually taken 3, a minimum of 3 in the last 3 games. So he's a 33% 3-point shooter in those last 3 games. Well, these 2 games, and then here 25. Yeah, I think one is about it for him. I think 1 shot or 1 3 made. So now you need 3 from Luka, right? That's what you're looking for. You need 3 threes made for Luka. So that is why that's so low, because Luka doesn't seem to be the issue here. It's going to be Giddey. And even then, Luka's only giving you 3 or more in 2 games. So it is a super low line, and it is something that Luka's capable of hitting all by himself like he did here. But in the event he has an off night and he's only able to give you 2, you need 2 from Giddey. So now you're getting a little sweaty with it. If Luka can give you 3, I think you can bank on that 1 3 from Giddey, and then that'll give you the 4 that you need to go over on that one. But I'm glad we broke this one down, because on the surface that shit looked way too low, but when you dig into the numbers, you can understand why it's set too low, because Giddey's really not getting the floor time, and he's not taking a ton of shots. Flex this one. I would not put this in a power play. What's Luka's points today? Luka is projected for 27 points. He has a 28. And then he's projected for 3 threes. Hey, that's what you need. On a 3.5 3-pointer made prop, he's projected for 3. That's under his individual line, but it's over where we need him, right? For the combo. If he gets you 3, I think Giddey gets you 1. I think that one is in a good spot. We just can't have no like bed shitting kind of game from Luka today. All right, Morel over, Boston over. Man, I don't know about this Kyrie. I gotta be honest with you. Charles over, even though it did get bumped up, and we like this Jonquel Jones. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. In that range, I think we can look for her to get that done today. Oh, they already took the Giddey Luka off the board. Yeah. Damn. Well, you could always go Giddey over 3.5. I mean, back to back games. And if you wanted to go Luka over 3s, he needs 4. They took his original line and they made it a demon. So nah, I think you could go with Giddey's 3s. I really do, in place of the combo. All right. All right. See, Williams over rebounds. Stewart over points, because homegirl Shirley had 20 points by halftime last game. All right, so let's clear it. All right, let's go. Courtney Williams. Was it Courtney? Who was it? Elizabeth Williams. Over rebounds at 6. And then we go Stewie. Over points. Oh, what the fuck? What just happened here? Nope. That one. Let's see. Thunder. Yeah, Thunder has been playing Giddey. I mean, I think they should play him more than 11 minutes. I mean, what is that shit? Who's taking this? Because Wiggins is in a rotation now. You're seeing more Isaiah Joe. Those two guys. Let's see. Oh, damn. Adam's going to a crawfish boil? What? Hell yeah. Nice. Ionescu over 32.5 fantasy points. All right, let's see. All right. What's up, Go See Mike? Says, I used to credit Ramadan for Kyrie, but I cannot explain it anymore. Thunder are just doing a good job. I don't know. They're just really locking them down. Adam says he's going back to the well under first quarter points for Kyrie. Do we have first quarter up on the board for NBA? Yeah, we do. We do. Oh, there you go. Very rarely do we have the play on PrizePicks. We do have to go to underdog sometimes. All right, what else? We got 4 new plays on the board, just like that. Okay. 21 viewers on the stream. Hit the like button on the way in. Much appreciated. All right, let's go over these 4 plays. We got Elizabeth Williams over 6 boards, Stewart over points, Ionescu over fantasy score, and then Kyrie Irving under 4.5 first quarter points. Any other first quarter props that while we're on this one, because we typically don't get a ton of first quarter cues, but anything else standing out in terms of points, rebounds, assists? Not really. All right, let's go. We're already in the game that we need to be in. So let's take a look at first quarter. We'll pull up Kyrie Irving. Where are you? There you go. At 4.5, at 5.5, that would be great, right? Okay, but it's at 4.5 now. 5 games in this series, he has not gone over. He hooked it at 4, but boy, whew, that's brutal. I mean, he's playing damn near the whole quarter. I mean, he's averaging 10 minutes in the first quarter. He's only averaging 2 field goal attempts in this series in the first quarter. 2. How many threes? Because if he knocks down 2 2-pointers, then you're still under. Okay, how many threes is he attempting? He's only attempting 1 3. Damn, who is on him? Who is on his ass? Is it Jalen Williams? Who is on him? Is it Shea? Because Dort, his primary focus is Luka. Wow. I mean, I don't know what it was like in the regular season. Yeah. Doesn't matter. There we go. Okay, so I guess, I mean, if you want to just look at the season and just compare it, In the regular season, Kyrie was averaging roughly 5 field goal attempts, 4.5. He's averaging 2 in the playoffs in the first quarter. And in threes, yeah, he's not taking a ton of threes anyway. So just really, it's just his field goal attempts. I mean, you're looking at 4.5. To 2. I mean, he's down almost 3 shots in the first quarter. So that explains, you know, if you're wanting to know what's causing this, it's just the volume isn't there and the efficiency isn't there. I mean, it's very easy for a player to score 5 points on 2 shots if they hit a 3 and a 2, right? There's your 5, but just not taking a lot of threes and he's not taking a lot of shots. And when you combine the two, that explains this. So go back to the well one more time. Hopefully there's still enough water in that bitch and we can cash the over, or we can cash the under on these points. All right, that was our only NBA play on the board, and the rest of them were Winba. So we're going back to New York. We're going to take a look at Stewie's points, sitting at 20, not 21.5. 20 or 21? 21. So we're still getting it at a lower line. You don't have any books taking action at 20. Oh, you do. No, you don't. You don't have any books taking action at 21. So the 20.5 is going to be the closest, and that's Caesars giving you the over at 125. But at 21, you're getting odds in favor of the under on both of these books. So this will actually be the closest, because with these odds, she needs 22. And with this one, she needs 22. Now, the difference here is also you have push potential. So she can finish with 21 and still not hurt your... Not too much. I mean, a push doesn't help your slip, but it doesn't count as a loss. 31 points last time these two teams met. Now, you would like to believe that teams make adjustments game over game, right? So whatever was hurting them in this first matchup, maybe they make some adjustments. I don't know. Maybe they don't have the talent. Maybe they don't have the right personnel to make the adjustments, and Stewart continues to eat. Her head-to-head games versus the Fever. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is just what she does against this team. So in previous games, all but 2, she's gotten you a minimum of 12 points in those games in the first half. In the second half, tends to fall back down. But overall, if you want to look at the full game output in those games versus this team, she's gone over in 4. I mean, like, convincingly gone over in 4. So much that her average is over 25 in spite of these games. So I guess you're hoping for not that big of a blowout to where she's not needed in the second half, but enough of an ass whooping to where she's getting you the over. Again, projected for roughly 22 points, which is the over on her. I feel like a little fuzz on my face. 22 points, which is the over. So we'll stick in this game. We'll look at Ionescu fantasy points. So we do have to look at a few different things for fantasy score here. So we can also do it by projection. So if you take a look at her projection, she's projected for 14 points, 5 boards. That's 20. 5 assists. That's 27.5. I don't know about steals and blocks, so we don't have a projection on this one. But if she got you 1, that'd be roughly 30 points, okay? If she got you 2, that's 33 fantasy points, minus the turnovers. she can't turn the ball over more than 2 times in this game. 3 or more is going to really hurt her fantasy upside. So that's just based off projections. Let's look at the odds. Okay. So at 16.5, you're just getting like split odds on those 2 books. FanDuel likes the over. BetMGM likes the over. Unibet really likes the over, as well as BetRivers and Bovada. You're hearing some books you don't really hear when we talk about NBA and MLB, like BetRivers and Unibet and Bovada. But those are the books taking action on this shit. Based off those books, 17 points feels like it's in play for her. Now, she only did put up 14 points in the last game. If you want to look at what she did in the last game, you can also do that. 14 and 7, that's 22.8. $27.3, 30, 33.3. So she finished with 33.3 points on just 2 threes made. So let's go back to the odds. We know 17 is in play. If we take a look at her rebounds, rebounds are projected for 6 today. So let's just keep it conservative. That's 7.2 plus 17 is 24.2. Her assists are, damn, through the roof. If she finished with 6 assists, that's that's 9 points. 16.2, 33.2. If she got you 1 steal, that's 36. Man, she could finish with 3 turnovers at that point and still go over her fantasy score. So minus 152 to go over assist. Her assist line is at 5.5. Minus 152 to go over. Caesars likes the over. FanDuel likes the over. BetMGM. So if she got you 6 assists, that's 9 fantasy points. 6 rebounds. Again, 7.2 fantasy points. 16.2 plus 17. 33.2. Her fantasy score is 32.5. She's already over with PRA. She just cannot turn the ball over 3, 4, 5 times. She does need to get you at least 1 steal or block to kind of put the icing on that cake. But I think that's in a good spot. Who else was there? Oh, Elizabeth Williams. All right. Chicago. Hey, you got it right. So looking at her rebounds at 6 today, been bumped up from 5.5 to 6. First game of the year, she got 8 boards. Wait, not first game of the year. Yeah, it was first game of the year. Right? 8 boards. Man, 3 straight games. You got to go back to last season. But 3 straight games are going over. Her head-to-head with the Dallas Wings. Is it the Wings? Wow, that was the only game she went over in the last 5. She is projected for 6.65 rebounds. And when you look at the odds, FanDuel liked it at 5.5. Over. BetMGM, not so much. ESPN Bet like the over at 5.5. So 6.5. Again, when these lines get bumped up, they're kind of in no man's land, because at 6 you're not going to get odds in favor of the over. So you really just have to go with what we're seeing on the screen here. This projection is closer to 7 than it is to 6. So if she's projected to get you 7, that gives you the over 6. I would say go look for this somewhere else. Don't necessarily play it on PrizePicks first. Go see if you can find it on another pick'em site or a book. Go play it on a book. Then you can play it on PrizePicks at 6. But that's definitely going to be the highest that you see it so far. This shit might even get bumped up again, but at 6, I think it's been bumped up enough. We don't want to see it bumped up anymore. All right, so like it more at 5.5, but you can play it at 6. Yes, based off what we saw, I think Breanna Stewart just plays this team well. They don't really have an answer for her. Ionescu, keep the turnovers down. Be nice to see her hit fucking 4 threes or something today, but based off what we saw, it looks like she's able to hit her fantasy on just PRA alone. And then we're going back to the well, taking the under on Kyrie Irving's 4.5 first quarter points. I would not be surprised if the Irving play got bumped down to 4 or if it just got taken off the board altogether. It's not grading out as a popular play, so maybe it's still going under the radar, which is cool. The fewer people that are on the good plays, the better. The better. All right. What's up, Sean Kemp? Oh, you like Luka over? Is it Shea? That's the defensive matchup? Shea on Kyrie? Damian says Tina Charles over 8 rebounds on PrizePicks. We looked up Tina Charles already, right? Yeah. Stewart points or PRA? Stewart points or PRA? Well, that coffee's all ice. I don't know. Let's see. Let's make sure her PRA is the same. 34.5. Okay. Vandal likes the under. There's not a man. 30. What a gap. 32 and 34. What happened to 33, bitch? So PrizePicks bumped it up from 33. PrizePicks bumped her PRA up one whole number, and they only bumped up her points 0.5. So I would say her points right now are still in favor out of those two. I mean, yeah, she can do this, obviously, right? I was just trying to see if there's any correlation. You know, when she goes over PRA, she typically goes over points, but does she necessarily go over PRA when she goes over points? Like, are there games where she goes over points but then has an off game with boards or an assist? Doesn't look like it. I mean, in these last 10 or these last 8 games, she has 4 overs. She has 4 overs on both. So yeah, it feels like the points are correlated to the PRA. I mean, you could take a shot on either one of them, but we broke down her points. I thought her points were in play. And then just in terms of the bump, PrizePicks only bumped up her points by 0.5. They bumped up her PRA by a whole number. So just based off that, you're still getting a better value on her points. But if you want to leverage that shit, you'll have to put them in 2 different slips and just, if she goes over PRA, she's probably going to go over points. So you can do it that way. But water gun to the head, I would play her points over PRA. All right. Yeah, I don't think her PRA is bad either. I mean, definitely you can play both of them. Just mix and match. I hope so. That was the logic last game. I took the over under threes. I was hoping they just go, you know, back and forth. They went back and then back some more. They didn't even fucking take a step forward. They just kept going back. 2 threes between those two ballers. What's up, David Watlington? Good morning. Lively 2 dunks on PrizePicks. What do you think about the under on Caitlin Clark? Under on fantasy points. I'm curious. Let's take a look at this Lively dunk prop. Did any? I didn't even play this one, but first of all, did Mobley have a dunk prop last few games? And if he did you take the over on that shit? Because if you've watched those games, his ass was getting to the rim with ease, with impunity. He was getting to the rim on alleys. He was getting to the rim on backdoor. He was getting to the rim. His ass was just like teleporting. His ass was already at the rim, and all of that shit was dunks. He had like 4 dunks in the third quarter. Just ridiculous. No paint presence for the Celtics. So I don't know if he had a dunk prop for those games, but I'm sure he went over on all that shit. That one looks like a fun play. Let's go Caitlin Clark on fantasy points. What round is it? What's up, Jesus? Probably the last round, man. I think we did 2 full rounds. Now we're just kind of I'm just taking rando questions right now. Yeah, he did. I mean, usually PrizePicks is onto that shit. Y'all remember when Aaron Gordon had a dunk prop of like 0.5 or 1, and then he just kept hitting that. It was every game, right? And then they finally just took him off the board. Nick Claxton was another one during the regular season where you were finding his dunk prop at like 1.5, and something like that. And then they started bumping him up. I was just curious because the way Mobley was getting to the rim, I wouldn't have been surprised if PrizePicks decided just to take it off the board. But if they had it on the board, I mean, you just keep rolling that one out there. That was ridiculous. Literally no resistance at the rim. I love it too, because then after he dunks, you had like Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday like pointing at each other, like, "Ooh, that was you. That was me. Oh, okay." I know Drew Holiday's a good defender. I get it. He's pesky and he's strong, but he's not fucking 6'10". When you're 6'4" and you're guarding a guy who's 6'11", come on, man. I don't give a damn how good of a defender you are, man. Like if you get to your spot, you can't do anything about it, man. You're gonna get dunked on. You're gonna get shot over. You're just in a bad spot. I mean, I don't understand that logic. Let's just D up your biggest dude with our guard. Doesn't make any sense to me, and it didn't work. It didn't work. I understand Drew Holiday is a good defender. I would just like to see him guard somebody at his own position. But the way Garland was playing and shooting, I guess you just didn't need anybody guarding his ass. He was just missing on his own. All right. I know we can't look up dunks as a prop on props.cash. However, what I want to see is in those last 3 games, Lively had 2 plus dunks in each of the last 3. I just want to look at anything that correlates with that. Is it minutes? Is it rebounds? Like if he's dunking off rebounds, offensive rebounds, stuff like that, rebound chances. His rebound chances have gone up in those 3 games. His offensive rebounds have been very steady, 3, 4, and 3. So if he's getting offensive boards at the rim, at the glass, he should be dunking that shit back, right? I mean, these opportunities are happening now before they really weren't. I mean, so I know dunks are dunks, but there's correlation there, and it'd be nice to know why it's happening now and it wasn't happening in the first 2 games of the series. Also, minutes. Let's go last 5. All right, so also minutes, first 2 games of the series compared to the last 3 games of the series, all 3 of these games he hit dunk prop or went over dunk prop. It's very it's possible that he went over all 3 games, that in this game here that he had a dunk prop of 1 or 1.5, but these 2 games they were at 2. So he may be 3 for 3, but anyway, he's getting you 2, at least 2 in these 3 games. So minutes are up. Field goal percentage. Dunks will do that. Shit, if you have 3 dunks in a game, if you take 4 shots in a game and 3 of those shots are dunks, you have a 75% field goal rate. That's not sustainable unless you're just dunking shit or laying it up. You're not shooting 75% from the field, taking mid-range. So that makes sense. And then in terms of just his, points going up, his rebound opportunities have gone up. Look at this, rebound opportunities. So all that makes sense to me. He's playing more minutes. He's more active on the glass. I think that leads to putback opportunities. And if he's putting the ball back, you would assume that a couple of those are going to be dunked. So yeah, that one makes sense to me. All right. Yeah, so throw that one in a slip. Gordon dunk prop was 2 last game. I wish his assist prop was 2. Oh, Caitlin Clark, that's right. Let's look up Clark fantasy. Shea over PA or Michael Porter Jr. under 6.5 rebounds. Man, that guy, what happened to him? What's wow, 14. Shit. Let's not forget about Clark. All right. Was looking at DG Fantasy. DG Fantasy's cool. They do more though. So DG Fantasy they do optimizer. So they do the optimizer, they do the correlation slip, they do the middling, they do the I do a lot of shit. So it's more than just like digging into the research. Basically, DG Fantasy requires you to not do any research. You just pop up, you look at their stuff, you play the slips. That's what you do. So they do all the work for you. But then you have like props.cash, outlier, I don't know about props made easy. I think they're very similar, but it's more of a researching tool. So you're doing some of the researching, you're digging into the numbers. It provides you with all the information you need, you know. So you have two different school of thought. You know, you have like DG Fantasy, and you have a lot of these other sites that are doing the work for you. They're building the slips for you. They're generating like correlation, and it's more expensive too, right? And then you have props.cash and outlier and props made easy that are giving you the information, but you gotta decipher through all that shit. And it's typically less expensive because, you know, they're not providing you with as much. But I've been using props.cash for over a year now. And I do use some secondary like optimizers that are in beta form right now. And they're cool because it allows me to just compare instead of having my eyes only on one researching tool. It just opens up options. If I see this other site and it's also sharing similar plays, then it makes me feel pretty confident if I'm seeing that player prop in different places. But my main one is props.cash. All right, let's see what else. Clark's been averaging a double on turnovers. I thought I was sleeping on something. I was reading your line there. I was like, double, damn. We're taking the over on her fantasy score. So she's pulling a fucking James Harden. She's pulling the Harden version of a double. Asia Wilson over fantasy score. I like her hair, man. It's like Storm. That's dope. Ooh, 46. I mean, rightfully so. Asia's a beast, man. She's a damn beast. Anthony said, only thing I would take is her over turnovers until she adjusts the WNBA defense. Yeah. Well, they're onto it because they don't even have turnovers up yet. I guess, yeah, when they do pop up, let's see if we can find a turnover prop for her ass. Hamby over fantasy. Hamby over fantasy. There she is. Oh, Kelsey Plum. All right. We got quite the build here. We have, well, we already took a look at Lively Dunk, so we won't look at that into anymore, but we'll leave it up on the screen. Shea, Porter, Clark, Wilson, and Hamby. All right, let's go to we'll go Shea, Porter, and then we'll finish it out with some Wimba plays. And that should do it for today's stream. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. Let's get more than 13 likes on the stream today. That was yesterday's total, 13. Shay. Man, that's super impressive, man. All right, so 14. That's his line today. Hooked it in one game, over in 3, under in 1. So percentage looks good. Projected for 14. So when you round it up, that's 14. Now, you don't have any books taking action at 14. That's more of a PrizePicks thing versus what the books say. So the books at 13.5, like the over on DraftKings and Caesars, these numbers are telling you that 14 is in play. Now 15 those odds aren't high enough to say, okay, he's going to get 15. At 14 and a half, he needs 15. And these two books are saying he ain't getting 15. So it feels like 14 is that number for Shea. He goes under 14 and a half, he lands at 14. He goes over 13 and a half, he lands at 14. And there you go. So in order to get the over on this one, he needs 15. So you got the odds working against you. You got the projections working against you. You do have back-to-back games where he has not gotten you 15. What's been down? His assist, rebounds. He's averaging 7, and then his assist, he's averaging almost 7 per game. He just needs a complete game. He needs a good, well-rounded game. 7 and 7. 7 and 8, something like. No, not 7 and 7. He's like 7 and 8, 8 and 7. This 5 assists or 5 rebound shit, it's not gonna get it done. So he definitely needs. It is a lot to ask for a person, a guy, a player to go out there and just like rip off 9 boards, 9 assists every game. I mean, it's a lot. And the further you go into the playoffs, the tougher it gets because the fatigue sets in, but also teams are just making adjustments around the clock, So they're watching film and they're just trying to figure out like any advantage, any little thing they see, So 14 feels like the number he'll hit. If you can find it at 13 and a half, I would definitely play it there first. If you find it at 15, I would take the under on that because everything is kind of pointing at 14 being that number he lands on. PrizePicks does a great job of bumping these plays into that gray area, that no man's land area where you're like, God damn, So you either got to get to these plays soon or you just go look for them somewhere else and play at a lower or higher line. Who else was there? Shea. Oh, Michael Porter. All right, so this game is tomorrow. MPJ is tomorrow, but let's look at his rebound prop. If it's up on the board, you can still put it in the slip. You're just gonna have to wait until tomorrow night for your slip to cash, assuming the other plays also hit. Ooh. So Michael Porter Jr. has not gone over 6 rebounds very often. One game he went over 6. One game he went over 6.5. One game he pushed 6. 3 games he goes under. It's not just rebounds for this dude. He hasn't done shit. If it weren't for this game, he'd be averaging under 8 points a game. If he got you like 12, 13 points in this game, I mean, dude. That's not good. PRA for this dude. This is like very, very similar to what we were looking at with Kyrie Irving, right? That one game, and then the rest of the games were just really bad. Taking a look at his projections of on his rebounds tomorrow he's projected for 6 rebounds. That's under 6.5. This one is gonna bump down. This one by tomorrow morning, afternoon, whatever, this one will be at 6. So if you like the under right now, I say play the under. It's not gonna get any higher. Don't wait for it to bump to 7. It's not. It's already at his high mark. It's going to bump down. When you have 1, 2, 3, 4 books favoring the under, I think it's only a matter of time before you see it bump down. That's a lot of action for the under. All right. Going back to the Indiana New York matchup. We're taking a look at Caitlin Clark's fantasy score. Well, let's take a look at her turnovers first. Damn. 2 games. In her young career, 13 turnovers. She's averaging 6.5 per game. Double for sure. Okay. I tell you what, yeah. That's promising though, right? First game, turn the ball over 10 times. Next game, 3 times. It's going in the right direction. So if she keeps it at 3, it does keep the upside for her fantasy score over alive. At 10 turnovers, that's really hard. In that first game, 20 points, no rebounds, 3 assists, 24.5 fantasy points, 30 fantasy points, 20 fantasy points. Second game, 9 points, 17.2 fantasy points, 26.2 fantasy points, 29.2 fantasy points, 20 and 26 fantasy points. So she hasn't even sniffed 30, not even close. Today, her projection, today her odds are in favor of the under. Let's say she goes out there and gets you 19. She goes out there and gets you 4. That's 23.8. She goes out there and gets you 5 assists. That's 31.3. 34.3. Her line for turnovers is 7.5. That's fucking ridiculous, man. So she's at what, 33 fantasy points, I think. At that rate, at that mark, she would need to turn the ball over just 1 time to go under. She'd have to be perfect, 0 turnovers to go over this line based off what we just built. 1 or more, she's going under this line. So if you suspect that she goes 3 turnovers or more, the under on her fantasy score is in play because she's already kind of like towing that line based off the odds. And then with 3, 4, 5 turnovers, that's really hard. You don't get those back. In order for her to compensate for the turnovers, like if she went out there and got you 4 steals and blocks, which is 12 points, she now has the room to go out there and turn the ball over 5 times, because then you're still up 7. You got +7 because of the steals and blocks. But when your turnovers outnumber your steals and blocks, that's tough. So she'd have to pop off for like 25 points or some shit like that. So I think the under on her fantasy score makes sense. Damn. I don't think I've ever seen a turnover prop that high before. No book is taking action on that shit. Look, cricket. All right. Who else was there? Oh, Asia Wilson. I know she plays in Las Vegas. All right, so we have Hamby and we have Asia Wilson. We're going to look at a fantasy score of 46 for Asia. Beast, man. 23 points right there based off the odds. 11 rebounds. That's 13. That's 33.2. Let's just say 3 assists. That's 37.7. She gets you 2 blocks and steals. 40, 43. Right around 41 fantasy points. Pretty conservative build. If we look at projections, let's just do this, okay? 12 rebounds. That's 15 plus 25. That's 40 right there. Let's say she gets you 2 assists. That's 43. And then steals and blocks, she gets you 2. That's 49. Minus turnovers, 247. So I did like a very conservative build before with the odds. You're looking at like 42 and 47. So it's kind of a wide range, but it does give you a floor and it does give you a ceiling. And anywhere between 46 and 47 is where you want it. It's possible she gets you. I mean, it's very possible she gets you the over with just PRA, right? So 25 here, 12 rebounds. That's 15. Again, that's 40. 4 assists. That's 6. That's 46 before steals and blocks. So yeah, it's possible. It's possible. All right, De'Erica Hamby. Fantasy points for her as well. $28.5. All right, based off this, we're looking at 14 points. We're looking at 8 rebounds. That's 24. 2 assists, that's 27. 1 steal and block, that's 30. And 2 turnovers, that's 28. And her prop is 28.5. With another steal or block, she goes over that with 31. With 1 more point, that's 32. 1 more rebound. If she got you 9 rebounds. So like a very conservative approach got us 28 on the dot. So she would just need literally one more thing. No turnover, just 1 more point or rebound or assist or block and steal. And she goes over that. So from my experience playing players against the Las Vegas Aces last season sucked because those games were fucking blowouts and the game was over by the half and you would just have nothing going on in the second half. So maybe that is the reason why we're seeing so many unders on these odds for Hamby. Aces are no joke. All right. Dunks, yes. All right. This one is, I feel, in no man's land. I say go find Shea at 13.5 and go over, or find it at 14.5 and go under. Everything that we saw was pointing at this landing right at 14. This one looks like a good one. It is for tomorrow. However, you can put it in a slip. I think by tomorrow, this one is going to get moved down to 6. Caitlin Clark goes under fantasy score. Yes. Until her turnovers clear up. I don't think she's figured it out. You don't go from 10 to 3 and then you never turn the ball over again. It's probably gonna like fluctuate between 4 and 5, you know? So even at 4 turnovers, it's gonna be really hard for her to go over fantasy score without putting up 20 plus. Asia Wilson, long as this game doesn't blow out too soon, then she should see the over on that one. And then same thing with Hamby. If this game blows out, I think it impacts both of these fantasy scores. All right. I think that's gonna do it. Think that's gonna do it. What's up, MIC? Oh, it's right. T, you keep reminding me. That's right. Yeah, for real. The family issues in the Porter household are real. Jonte gets suspended from NBA and I don't know, from like basketball as a sport. He can, I don't know how deep that penalty was. I don't even know if he's allowed to touch a fucking basketball. He probably is not even allowed to say the word basketball. So you got that, and then his other brother got locked up for what, he hit and run, vehicular manslaughter or some shit like that. Yeah, that family's going through it. So maybe that's it. Shay needs 40 plus points for them to win. I'm going under per JR. All right. All the young over hits. Y'all like PJ Washington PRA. Let's get in the right sport, the right league. Sorry. Okay, come on now. PJ Washington over PRA. It's been steady at 24 for what, the last couple games. He's coming back down to earth a little bit, like literally and figuratively. You know, you can see it, but there are very few players in this league that could sustain that level of play over the course of 5, 6, 7 games. He's not one of them. I mean, they kind of cleaned up that rotation a little bit. I mean, he was eating them alive. Those corner threes were no joke. It kind of slowed it down a little bit. If you look at this, and you can see this is his high point. Very good game. Still pretty good game. It's slowly coming down. It's not like a complete fall off a cliff, you know. But well, look at this: 18 to 44. That's not something you see all the time. That big of a jump. So we're seeing this gradual decrease, but we're also seeing his line not really move all that much. So you could leverage the under on that one if you wanted to take a shot, especially if Luka is gonna just you know, he's deciding that I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this team away. Like this is his game where he's gonna send the Thunder home. This is his team, you know, and this is like his game. Leaves less shots for guys like PJ Washington. That's just a theory. That is not research. That is just like, at some point, these alpha males, got to be an alpha male. And Luka hasn't really been that guy this series. You would feel like how we feel Kyrie's due for a bounce back game. You would feel like Luka needs to just fucking put this team away, put his foot on the throat, and put this team out. And that's what alpha stars do. But you also mentioned PJ Demon points at 17. Same thing here. Huge jump. And then like decrease. It's happening so gradually that very few people saw it, you know, from 29 to 27. You're not saying like, oh shit, he's about to fall off. You're like, damn, back-to-back games of 20 plus points. Then in this game, maybe some people started noticing it. Like, oh shit, he only scored 20 points. And maybe some people were like, damn, that's 3 games in a row, 20 plus points. It's not until a game like this where people are like, oh shit, he fell off. But if you were paying attention, he's been falling off. He's just been doing it at a slow rate. So based off of this game log, I don't expect him to like keep falling down, him giving you less than 10 points. I think that's unreasonable. But him to just go back from 10 to 29, I don't think that's going to happen. So you're looking for him to score 7 more points than he did in the last game. That could be within range. But I think this is a good example of the Thunder figuring it out, and the combination of maybe Luka starting to say, fuck you, man. I'm the star of this team. Stop scoring so many points. Who else was it? Paul DeYoung over hits. All right. Oh, Demon too, huh? Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at the PJ. Let's take a look at this PJ play. Then we'll take a look at the Young play. And then we'll end the stream on this glorious Saturday morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you have a good rest of your day once we're out of here. 24.5 points is, 24.5 PRA. Another thing too, throughout the playoffs, you know, PJ Washington, where are you? Like, not really that guy, right? This is fantastic production, but he wasn't really that guy in the first round. If you wanted to just zoom out, the last 15 games, including playoffs, going back into the regular season, you're not really that guy, you know? So this is, you really needed to jump on this game. Like, if you were looking at this game saying 16 PRA, he's a better player than that, and you were getting his PRA at that point at like 18.5 or something, you were taking the over on that shit. You did not project this. You did not say he's going to go for 40, but you knew he was better than this. And then from there, you just kind of rode that shit out like a stock, you know? Jump on it here, boom, you sell and let that shit come down. You sell here, you're good. You sell here, not bad. You sell here, you lost some money, and you ain't selling here. You're fucked. So that is a very sharp drop. If you're a glass half full kind of person, then you're saying he only missed it by 1. He needs 1 more point, 1 more rebound, 1 more assist. If you feel like this is close enough to where he was off by what? How many rebounds did he get in that last game? 10. So it definitely wasn't rebounds. Definitely wasn't assists. Yeah, you need more than 10 points. If you feel that PJ Washington gets you the demon points today, he needs 17 points. If you feel he gets you 17 points, take the over on his PRA, because that's been the only thing kind of stopping him from going over in these lines are his low point totals. Those two correlate. PRA, points, right? These 3 games, 29, 27, 21, 45, 35, 33. Not a coincidence. So you like the over on his, even if you like the over on his OG points, if you like the over on his OG points, then you take the over on his PRA, because as his points go, his PRA goes. He's not grabbing you 15, 16 rebounds. So I think those two correlate. If you don't like his PRA, then you probably don't like his points. Projections say his points are going over and his PRA is going over by 3. Odds say split, under, over, under. You're seeing indecisiveness on the books with just two books liking the under, one liking the over, and then you see FanDuel is very split on their odds. So I wouldn't call it like a slam dunk under, but just something to pay attention to in terms of this not being the norm. All right, last play of the stream. I got to get out of here. Paul DeYoung over hits. This is also a demon play. This guy plays for the White Sox now. I still think of him as a Cardinal. All right, so never going to find positive odds on the demon. So seeing this at -135, it does not surprise me. So really what you're looking for here is you're looking for this streak to continue. He's hit safely in 7 out of his last 10 games. And in 3 out of those games, in 3 games, he's hit for 2 hits. So doubled up what he did in the other games here. You only need 1 hit, so you don't get extra points for this, for the other hit. He is projected today for a hit, though the odds don't like this one. Projections do like this one. Total base, same shit. They're the same prop. So no numbers against Luis Gil. However, on the year versus righties. Oh, I just realized Pham and DeYoung are on this team. Two former Cardinals. Did they get traded to the White Sox together, or is that just a coincidence? They just signed with the same team. Yeesh. All right. So against righties this season, DeYoung is batting .267 with a 36.5 strikeout rate versus righties. Holy shit. Whoa. BVP, no BVP versus Gil, really? Okay, so there's that 267 batting average versus righties in 96 plate appearances, 6 doubles and 4 home runs, 14 singles, 6 doubles and a home run versus lefties. Not faring that well against lefties, so doesn't matter. Versus Gil, because Gil's a righty, but numbers are very poor against lefties. Gil versus right-handed batters, allowing like nothing. A 126 batting average, 6 singles, 4 doubles, and just 1 home run in 102 plate appearances. He's doing a really good job of suppressing that run production, not giving up a ton of power to righties. In fact, he's not giving up a ton of power at all. Just 3 homers on the year. This might be a pretty tough matchup for the White Sox. Gil at 5.5 strikeouts. He's projected for 7, almost, I would say 7 here with these odds. There's 6 on the projection, 2 earned runs. Only projected for 3 hits. Damn. White Sox on the season versus right-handed pitching, 22% whiff rate. Gil is a 1 strikeout per inning dude, 10.5 swing and miss. This might be a tough matchup for the White Sox, honestly. The most appealing thing about that the young prop is that it is a demon prop, so you are getting a payout boost on it. So, for instance, if you put these two in a slip, the Washington, the young, is there no payout boost? No, you don't get shit. Never mind. What is that? So why is it a fucking demon if you're not getting a payout boost on it? What if he just threw a third pick in there? Damn, little gnat. I probably think my apartment is dirty. I'm always talking about bugs. Those motherfuckers fly in. As soon as I open my door, they're like waiting at my door with like suitcases and shit. Just flying on in and making themselves at home. All right, so if you put a third play in here, you have to power it. Don't ever flex a 3-pick. The payout on that is not good. Just you might as well just build a 5-man, or go play underdog and get a 6x on your 3 picks. But I guess there is a bit of a payout increase here with that demon. But just the 2-pick doesn't offer you anything. I would not put this in a power play. There's no point. You're not getting a boost. It's not worth the risk. I would put this in a flex. I would just put this in a flex. There's your 5-man flex right there. With that demon, holy shit, you're not even getting a payout boost. Nah. If you're playing the Paul the Young hit, you're playing it because you like the over. You really like the over. You're definitely not playing it because you're getting a payout boost, because you're literally not getting any payout boost at all. So you have to really like it outright, because there's no sense in putting it in. Otherwise, you're not getting extra money for it. That sucks. That really sucks. All right, clear that shit out. Boom. What was that, Balraj? I got Drake over 2 feet in his BBL. All right. Damn. An hour and 54 minutes in. We are closing in on 2 hours. We're not going to get the 2 hours. I don't want to get the 2 hours. We're done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for stopping by on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. We went over a lot of player props in today's stream. We got right into it. So honestly, we have been chopping up player props since 8:50, 8:52, 8:53 this morning. We have been chopping up player props. It is now 10:45 a.m. So if you're late, that's on you. If you missed, that's on you. We've been on stream for a very, very long time. Saturdays, we go a little longer. We have more freedom. We have more room. But yeah, we covered a lot. So hopefully you were able to gain something from this. Came across a few plays that you like. Hopefully this helps you build out a slip or two. And hopefully all of your slips profit. Hit that like button on your way out. Consider subbing up to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click the notification icon so you don't miss out on the next live stream, which will be Tuesday morning, 8:50 a.m. We'll start sharp 8:50 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And if you want more slips, you want more picks, hit me up in the Discord. All the information is in the stream description. And if you have any trouble, just DM me in the Discord. See if I can answer your question. But that's going to do it. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you have a great rest of your day, a great weekend. I'll be back on Tuesday morning with another live stream. I hope all your player props respect the coin. I'll let the beat ride a little bit. And until Tuesday's live stream, Chavez is out.